Julia Trubkina has always lived much of her life in the glare of the spotlight, from uprooting her existence from Russia to America, to the intense scrutiny that comes with reality television. But nothing in that spotlight quite matches up to what she is facing now: an intensely personal, physically painful, emotionally raw journey into fertility, and the unexpected weight her family's involvement has added to the mix. The unraveling. For years, Julia has carried a fear. Not the sort of fear that's spoken about between friends over coffee, but one that envelopes entire nights: the psychological ache of wondering whether motherhood will ever be hers. At some point in Russia, a doctor told her something devastating, something she has wrestled with in silence. Julia was warned she might never conceive. When she finally agreed to pursue fertility testing in the U.S., it was with Brandon, her husband, by her side. As the cameras rolled and the clinic doors opened, Julia's inner turmoil was laid bare: anxiety, grief, hope, and dread all mixed together. She told of panic attacks in the car, of wanting to breathe easier, trying to convince herself that the news might be good. The tests reveal more than expected. The fertility clinic, staffed by nurse practitioners including Lanessa and Janessa, was supposed to offer clarity. Instead, the results introduced new layers of complexity and heartbreak. Julia underwent a saline sonogram and an ultrasound, as well as blood tests, in an effort to understand what may be interfering with her ability to conceive. She was told about a uterine polyp, a small growth of tissue inside the uterus that could interfere with embryo implantation or cause it to be knocked around. The tests also revealed what may be an adhesion, bands of tissue that could block the path sperm need to take. Julia's previous doctor in Russia had not mentioned any of this. The revelation that there might be more medical complications than she had been told felt like an additional blow. She was left reeling, not only with medical facts but with what they meant emotionally. When family joins the appointment, here is where the story becomes especially intense and where much of the pressure turns inward. Julia's parents, and Brandon's, play prominent roles in her life, as is common for many in her cultural circles. But in this moment, the involvement of her family in her fertility journey brought immense additional stress. During a visit to the clinic, her family was present, not just hearing about treatment options, but part of discussions about what surgery would mean. They witnessed Julia being told that a uterine polyp should be removed under anesthesia. Her family's reactions were real and visible. When Julia stated that she did not want children, at least not at this moment, the shock in her parents' faces was captured. Medical professionals explicitly advised that decisions such as proceeding with surgery should be made thoughtfully, not in haste, even under pressure from family or expectations. Julia, visibly torn, expressed that these were decisions weighing on her body, her autonomy, and her relationship. This dynamic family, seated in the room as medical facts are delivered, elevates what might otherwise be strictly a doctor-patient conversation into a charged, multilateral negotiation of identity, obligation, fear, and love. The emotional anatomy of the moment. If you strip away the cameras, the drama, and the external judgments, Julia's journey is deeply human. It is about fear of being broken, of being found unworthy. When a doctor in Russia told Julia she might never conceive, she carried that knowledge like a knife in her chest. The idea of trying, then discovering more complications, returned those wounds over and over. The weight of hope. Brandon's steadfast belief in their future together is both a source of comfort and additional pressure. When someone you love is hopeful, there's a natural push inside you to honor that hope even when your own heart is wavering. Autonomy versus expectation. Julia's moments where she states she does not want kids, not now, or maybe ever, are not just about motherhood, but about who gets to decide her body's future. Her assertion that surgical removal of the polyp is optional, that it comes with risk, and that she has to live with her choices, shows how private this fight is. Physical pain is mirrored to emotional pain. The medical procedures, ultrasound, sonogram, insertion of saline, anesthesia, aren't easy. They leave behind not just medical results but embodied memories, the discomfort, the vulnerability, the sensations of something foreign inside your uterus, the echo of the monitor, the voice of a nurse saying almost done. The disturbing details. The word disturbing is strong, but it comes up when you consider how much pressure, expectation, and family dynamics overlap in this story. Here are some of the more unsettling dynamics. 1. Lack of full disclosure early on. Despite being warned in Russia that she might not have children, Julia wasn't told about the specific anatomical issues, polyps, adhesions. This meant discovering them later was both medically and emotionally jarring. 2. Family expectations versus Julia's internal reality. Her family, especially her parents, understandably want grandchildren. They want to see her become a mother. Their hopes are intense, but when they join her in medical settings, their hopes become part of her decision matrix. This can lead to conflicting voices every time medical advice or possibilities change. Julia's own ambivalence, not now, maybe never, is met with surprise or even pressure. 3. Pressure to choose surgery now. The doctors recommend polyp removal under anesthesia, but with caveats. Surgery has risks, no guarantee of success. Recovery is involved. Yet, with time being a critical factor in fertility, there's implied urgency, and when family is listening, urgency can feel like being backed into a corner. 4. Emotional turbulence made public. Julia's panic attacks in the car, her tears when hearing the word polyp, her pain during the procedures, all of this is edited, shown, discussed. Reality TV demands vulnerability, and sometimes it demands more than what one is ready to give. The public body becomes a site of medical scrutiny. 5. Uncertainty amid hope. Even with diagnosis, tests, recommendations, and surgery options, nothing is guaranteed. Fertility is notoriously unpredictable, so the weight of expectations sits atop a shaky foundation of maybes, which can be emotionally exhausting. A turning point, when Julia draws a line. One of the most powerful moments in Julia's fertility storyline comes when she draws a boundary. She says, quite clearly, that she does not want children, at least for now, or, perhaps, that if nothing else, it must be her choice. Her body is her decision. This boundary surprises her family. It unsettles them because it challenges the implicit assumption, sometimes unspoken, sometimes forceful, that motherhood is the inevitable next chapter. Julia's statement becomes a statement of self, not rebellious, but fundamental. At the same time, Brandon stands by her. He reaffirms that he will support whatever she decides. That does not erase the pressure or the emotional labor, but it offers solidarity. Which matters? What happens next? In reality and for viewers, Julia's fertility journey is far from over. The tests will continue, the surgeries may happen, and the emotional toll is ongoing. But what she's doing is carving out something often ignored in these narratives: complexity. She shows that fertility isn't just about medicine, it's about identity, choice, fear, resilience, love, and dignity. Her story peels back the layers of expectation, especially from family, and of cultural assumptions about womanhood. For viewers, it is hard to watch. There is empathy, there is frustration, there is anger, but there is also hope. Hope that Julia will find a path, not the path others want for her, but the one that makes sense for her body, her heart, her life.